me hit record so I do not forget. All right. So again, I'm Angela Campbell. I'm going to be your host today. I am a trainer. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I'm also a 44-year-old woman who's been through all the things, and some of y'all are going through right now. I've been in the training fitness industry for 16 plus years. And on the online space in 2020, I stopped doing anything in person and just went straight online. Not purposely because of the COVID thing, but it just fit my lifestyle better with the younger kids. And my son's on the autism spectrum. So we were going through some challenging times at that season of our life where a mommy just needed to be home. And so I love doing a little bit of both. So before I do get started though, I am curious. Obviously, this training is all about metabolism after 40. But I do know I spoke to quite a few women too that are like, but I'm not 40 yet. I'm like, cool, well, get on and learn now. Because some women are having issues with their hormones and with different things going on in their life, even in their 30s, y'all, the toxic food and all the things going on in our life. It's happening to women at a much younger age. But with that said, before I do just really get into the meat and potatoes of today, I want to know what is your age? Drop your age in the comments if you're comfortable sharing your age out loud. I already said mine loud and proud. I'm 44, and I have no shame in sharing that. I think we as women need to be loud and proud on our age, and there's nothing wrong with that. So also I'm going to start working on the technical side and share my screen. Yeah. So bear with me as technology is not always my friend. All right, I got to see these. I got to see the ages coming out in the comments. Drop your age in the comments. Soon to be 58, Michelle. I love it. I love it. We got 43. What's up, Aaron? Long time no see. 56, 39, 42, 55, 49, 46. I love it. Oh, Aaron, you're in Weatherford now. That's pretty cool. I just now saw that. Okay. I love it. Awesome. Perfect. All right. I love seeing ages because one, I just encourage you to be loud and proud about it. But obviously this webinar today, I really want to dive into how to reset your metabolism, how to serve it, how to honor it, because y'all, a lot of us are doing things that because we were told to do it. We are doing a lot of things because we were just programmed. We grew up being told that we need to undereat, we need to do all the things. So before I get into that, hold on one second. I just want to confirm it is recording. Did y'all see the recording? Reagan, did you see it record? Because I don't know if it did. I do not want to get this party started without recording because I'll be in big trouble. Hold on, y'all.
Yes, we're recording.
Oh,
I
there it
had
is.
to click
Okay.
the link.
I was like,
I had to click the button, so we are recording.
okay, good.
Sorry.
I had a panic moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody that I promised a replay is not going to get a replay. Okay. All right, so let's get to it. When you're working on healing and resetting your metabolism, today we're going to talk about how to heal it. Obviously, that's why you're here, right? How to heal it. Some may not realize, like, heal it. Do I really need to heal mine? Yes, and I'm going to talk about signs that you might be definitely on that spectrum. Some just need to work on eating the right way and do different things that I'm going to talk about today. But some truly need to slow down, give your body enough time to heal from the years and the years of undereating and all the things. So we're going to talk about how to heal. We're going to talk about simplifying nutrition, how to finally lose that stubborn 5 to 8 pounds and beyond. Okay. Some of us have 5 pounds we want to lose and it will not freaking go away no matter what you do. Some have 50 pounds to lose. Some are just, you're trying so incredibly hard, but none of it is going anywhere. So, but the key to this, as you can read on the screen, without dieting, okay, dieting is temporary, and I really want that to set in today. Dieting meaning like restrictive, under calories, like cutting out all my carbs, cutting out all the things, right? Restriction. Everything that I do has to do with freedom. Freedom Macro Society is our online community. Freedom Macro Method is the method that I teach. All of that is created and designed. And when we were choosing the name, it was because freedom is in everything. Food freedom. You want freedom from the mental battles. You want freedom from the pressure that we all have in today's world and our society. I think has put a pressure on us to always be do, and to also to be sacrificing our health to raise kids and grow businesses and stuff. And it's not meant to be that way. And freedom, meaning you don't have to spend hours in the gym to get it done. Okay. If you're here, obviously it's not by accident. You were here for a reason. This webinar was put in front of your face for something that you need. So, but before I get into it, I am big, and some of y'all that I see on today are already in our coaching community, so you know this. I drill mindset like crazy. I can give you all the workout plans in the world. I can give you all the nutrition and the macros in the world. But unless we shift our mindset around all the things that we're doing, it's not really going to stick like it could. So this first slide is all about some mindset stuff that I'm going to just put it all out there because I think it's crucial and it's important for you to know this. If you're doing all the right things and your body is not responding, it is not your fault. Okay. First, you got to forgive yourself and you got to let it go and stop thinking, oh my gosh, this is my fault. I'm failing. I'm all these things. If January diets, meaning, obviously January, the beginning of the year, a lot of people are in the, in that phase. Like it's January, it's a new year. I'm working on my New Year's resolution. I don't do New Year's resolutions because they're temporary typically. But if it feels harder every single year, you're not broken. Put broken in the chat if you feel like right now your body is not responding to anything. So therefore you feel broken. Could anybody on here feel like I'm broken, girl? Like I am working my ass off, excuse my language, and nothing is working. Anybody? I know there was a big part of my journey where I truly felt broken. And I felt like nothing was working and I felt like I was working too hard, getting nowhere. Yeah, put broken in the chat. Like if you feel that way, or even right now, or maybe you have in the past, know that you're not alone. I think it's more common than not in today's society and world. And if you've lost and gained, you feel like you've lost and gained the same 20 pounds every single year. You're not I can't even talk. You're not lacking discipline per se. There is hope. And that's what I hope more than anything to bring to you today. So let's get to what's really happening, right? Like some of us are still, and this was really hard for me to overcome. The closer I got to 40, I was still trying to do everything I did in my 20s and 30s. And you guys, some of us, that's all we know. We were taught to do something in our 20s and 30s that freaking worked. So why would we not try it again? But here's what so many women that I personally see on a daily basis, whether it's in person at the gym or or of course online, a lot of us are still trying to do the things that we did in the past that did work. They're just not working anymore. The approaches that worked back then, you guys, they're not going to work. Even though our world keeps telling us and preaching, y'all, I can't tell you how many times I speak to women on a daily basis. They either left the doctor's office or their friend or whoever it is told them, oh, you just need to move more and you need to work. You need to move more and you need to eat less. I had someone recently tell me their doctor told them like, oh, just you need to eat 700 calories a day and just go move your body. And of course, they were getting on the GLP-1s as well too, which is a whole other topic and another story. And I'm not against them. I'm against doing them and only relying on them. I personally partner with physicians that trust me for the coaching side, and they help on the peptides and GLP-1 side. So like I believe in them. I don't believe in only leaning on them. The world is so freaking loud. You guys put agree in the chat if you agree. The world is loud. The world is loud. It's full of temptations. It's full of quick fixes. It's full of restrictive dieting. It is full of instant gratification syndrome is another thing that I always love to talk about because it's real. And what does that even mean? That means like we want results yesterday, like overnight, because we are programmed. We get groceries delivered to our door over like within hours, which I'm a big fan of, right? Amazon Prime, all these things, but our bodies don't work that way. And until we really just zone in and really understand that and trust you're going to stay stuck. So we have to put our blinders on. I love horses. I don't know anything about them. The only thing I know of, like, remember the blinders that you put on horses so that they stay straight. I know some of y'all are horse people, so y'all know the technical terminology way more than that, way better than me. But I always think of a horse when I'm talking about put the blinders on right here. So you can look straight ahead, only forward at yourself so you can get away from the loudness of the world. You can have tools, the supplements. I'm a part of a company that has great supplements, of course, as well, too. But again, the approach and all the other things you're doing along with them is where the magic is going to happen, right? I love it, Reagan. Yeah, doctors are paid to sell pharmaceuticals, not focus on the answers that we need most. They're definitely not nutritionists, and I think that's one of the big things that drives me the most crazy. I love them. Having a sister that's a nurse practitioner local in town, that's why she brings me in to talk to her people about nutrition because that's not her expertise, right? And some of them, dish that information out anyway. So anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole tangent. It drives me crazy. It's a pet peeve. But the shift that I want you to understand on today's call is not just about giving you hope. I want you to understand that there is hope. And I don't care how old we are or what age we get to. Like Linda Campbell is a beautiful woman in our community that she's coached with us kind of on and off for years. And she's in her mid 70s and freaking rocks it and makes some of us in our 40s look like nothing, right? And she's just amazing, and she's proof that it can happen at any age. But the shift that I want you to truly understand, if you get nothing else out of this call today, is your metabolism didn't die, you guys. That's not how our body works. It just adapted. It adapted to the years of dieting. It adapted to stress that we're all under, you guys. We could all probably list a really long list of the things that we have stress going on in our life, whether it's family or it's illness or it's work or it's finances or it's family or whatever the case may be. But here's the good news, because the good news I always love to share. What adapted once before can be supported and can be can rebuild, and it can readapt. It can readapt to the things we're doing to our body now. As long as we're taking the right approach, it can work for you and not against you, as long as you're serving your body and taking the right approach, right? And so let me ask you, which one of these feels right? Feels like maybe this is your issue right now. Or put A, B, C, or D, whichever one, or put multiple if you want to. But which one feels most true to you right now on your journey? A being I'm eating less and not losing. Are you eating less and nothing's changing? Or I'm exhausted and inflamed? How many of you can honestly say, like, I just feel freaking exhausted and inflamed all the time? I'm puffy, I'm bloated. You know, a lot of these things that we feel whenever we're inflamed. Sorry, I got to mute somebody real quick. And then, or I don't know what to eat anymore. Some of us are so incredibly confused. Like, I get it, Angela, and I see it, but I freaking don't know what to do anymore, because there's this opinion and that opinion and this diet and that opinion and this supplement and this medication and blah, 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 right? And D, being scared that nothing will work anymore, y'all, is more common than you think. It's more common for so many women, especially if you've been on this train for a while. You feel like you've been dieting forever and you've been trying forever. You've been consistent, which is the magic that everybody's looking for, that a lot of people aren't. But you might just not be consistent with the right things, and that's okay. Yeah, stress has hit me hard this last year. Yeah, I know a lot of people that this last year, like some massive traumatic stress, and it's scary. It impacts our body in a very negative way, right? Yeah, exactly. So here's what we're going to do today. Here's my goal. My goal is to keep this right at an hour or less. That is my goal, you guys, I promise. So stick with me. And I want to show you why this keeps happening after 40, right? I'm going to talk about why your body feels stuck, why it's not responding, what your body actually needs. Definitely going to bring some awareness around that, and how to reset it without burning out, without dieting or burning out. Because you can be burnt out from dieting just as much as we could be burnt out from hustling and working and just doing for everybody all the time except ourselves, right? I feel like I've forgotten how I was to eat. Yeah, Karen, thank you for sharing that. I know I do not eat enough or drink enough. Yes, I feel like I have forgotten how or what to eat. Yeah, you're definitely not alone in that, Karen, especially in today's world of crazy noisy. So why diet stop working after 40? Okay, why we can't do what we did in our 20s and 30s, in our 40s and expect results. Why it has nothing to necessarily do with your willpower. Some people struggle with getting their butts up, right? Like, but some of y'all, again, are working so freaking hard, but not getting anywhere. So something that I want to clear up again, and you're going to hear me, I'm a repeater. I'll repeat some things just so it sticks up here. If you feel stuck right now, it's not because you failed your diet. It's not because you're just a failure and you're stuck and you're doomed because you're after 40. How many of you guys have ever heard that? I hear it regularly. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to prove you wrong. Your diets are failing you. The approaches are failing you. So here's the truth that I want to really drive home today. Your body isn't resisting you. It's not fighting you, and it's not being a jerk, even though we think it is sometimes. It goes into this protection mode. It literally is protecting our body for four main reasons that I'm going to talk about today. It's protecting us because some of the things that we can control, and I want to back up just a little bit, because I'm going to talk about these four things in just a second, but I really want to bring awareness around too. Like there's some things around this journey that we can control. And obviously I'm here to teach you what you can control, our lifestyle, our body, our diet, what we can control. And then there's going to be other things on this journey. You guys we just have to accept and honor and know that it's not in our control. Like you give it to God or whatever your faith is. I know I'm out loud and proud about my faith, never to push my beliefs on anyone, but I jumped ahead too fast. But at the same time, it's a big part of just me, right? What's up, Audrey? So glad that you're here. Just now saw you on. It is all good. So let's talk about these 4 things. Reason number 1, this is the number 1. The reason why I put this as number 1 is because 90% of women that I speak to on a daily basis, when I tell them to start tracking their food, it is usually this: they're under eating, chronically under eating. Okay, so there's a difference. You might have a day here or there where you skip a meal, you forgot to eat as much, you under ate. That is not going to make or break this whole journey, you guys. We're not about being perfect. You got to let go of perfectionism for some of y'all some of y'all, that's one of your biggest things holding you back. I'm not going to talk about that necessarily today, but chronic under eating is chronically under eating over a period of time, a long period of time, years or months. Maybe it's just been a year, maybe it's been months, whatever your number is. Most women, it's been years. Eating less, skipping meals. There was a big part of my journey that I skipped meals, y'all. I know for some people are like, no way. Yes, I did. When my kids were younger, my son especially, I skipped meals, I skipped workouts, I skipped everything. Saving calories, meaning, you're saving them for something special, or you're rewarding yourself with, your food. So you starve yourself all day and then binge basically. And then starting over every Mondays. And this is a big struggle for a lot of women in our community. How many of you feel like you're starting over every single Monday? Put Monday in the chat. Some of us, this is a big struggle, meaning, I know some of the women in our community, they'll start off really good during the week and then they'll go back into starvation mode, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday, here we go. We're starting over. I start real good on Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we either overindulge or we just straight up don't do anything, right? If you feel like you're restarting every single Monday, again, you're not alone. So please, I'm going to say that a lot today because I really want you guys to understand, like, you're not alone. Otherwise, this training wouldn't be as important as it is, right? Your metabolism again, when you're chronically under eating, it adapts to survive. Remember I said protection a while ago? Less fuel, your body burns less and it stores what you don't want. Okay. When we underfuel our body, chronically under eating, all these things, skipping out carbs, skipping breakfast or intermittent fasting, y'all, there's a science behind intermittent fasting. And I'm not against it. I teach some women how to do it correctly. However, in this season, you don't need intermittent fasting. You need frequent meals throughout the day. You need to start your day with a good, solid breakfast, because less fuel means less calorie burn, which means burn away muscle instead of fat, and it stores the fat. Okay. So if that doesn't set in, but if nothing else again sets in, and like if you're one that you do feel like under eating is your biggest issue, then focus on that first as your biggest flip-flop. We're gonna change that, right? Because in real life, when you're under eating, again, you eat less, you lose nothing. And I see this all the time in our community, and you're going to hear a couple women's stories today. They did a video so they can share with you. But when you're under eating and your scale's not moving, there's so many women in our community, as when they finally trust the process and they finally listen and say, okay, I trust you, Angela. I'm going to do what you said. I'm going to do what you said, and I'm going to eat more, I'm going to eat more, to eat more. And then the scale starts to drop, and they're like, wait, I'm eating more and my scale's dropping. How is that happening? If anybody ever had someone tell you to eat more and you're like, oh, that's a big fat lie. There's no way, Angela. And then you finally do it, and then you're like, holy crap, it's actually working. I'm actually losing. Then you actually start to believe it. But your body holds on to the fat. Okay, fat slows down even at the low calories. So again, this is the technical term for that is metabolic adaptation. Let me slow down. Again, so we have to reprogram ourselves. Okay. Reason number 2, hormones. Hormones, y'all. This is something that we cannot control. These are one of those things we can't necessarily control how our hormones shift as we age. It is a natural part of us being women, and it sucks, but it is part of life, right? However, how we treat our body highly impacts our hormones. Okay, so after 40 or right around the 40 mark, some people it happens earlier. For me, 41 was my sweet spot. 41 was my, and I say sweet spot not in a positive way. 41 was that like, okay, things are just off. I feel so broken. And sure enough, blood work proved that I had my progesterone was super low and my testosterone, which I now supplement with HRT. But our estrogen naturally decreases, our cortisol typically increases naturally. And if we're doing all these chronic under eating, overtraining, not regulating our nervous system, you guys, it kills our metabolism. And then things like insulin sensitivity, you throw that in there, and you got thyroid. And then some of you are doing the same food, same workouts, but you're getting a different response, meaning weight gain. How many of y'all have actually just like, you didn't change a thing, but the weight started coming on? Put gain in the chat. Is there anybody on here that like, oh yeah, I just all of a sudden I felt like my belly went bloop, and I just everything changed. Didn't change my food, didn't change workouts. I was doing still the same, didn't do anything crazy or extreme. It just all of a sudden, boom, there goes the weight. Obviously, a lot of times that is definitely a sign of some hormone shifting. But here's the good news. Yes, you can get help and you can go to the doctor and get blood work done. I'm a big advocate of blood work. If you think you're off, go get it done. Just to see, some of y'all's hormones and levels might be perfectly fine, but it's the lifestyle that we need to change, right? But this is a big reason, number two. But this is biology, you guys. It's not brokenness. Your body just needs a different support. Your body needs a different support. We can't fight the biology. We cannot. We just have to honor it. Okay. Yeah, Karen, I totally get it. If you're, yeah, and here's the thing too. If you don't need to take hormones, by no means don't do it. If you need it, I got to the point where I actually had to have it, or I was gonna like kill my husband or something. uh, in a sense of like no testosterone because it was like irritable, no libido, like all of the terrible things that I thought I was broke for so many years until I realized that was a huge part of it. As well as my lifestyle and my under eating as well too. So we can't fight biology, but we can honor it by all these things that I'm going to teach you today too. So moving on to number three, overdoing cardio and under fueling is also just another recipe for slowing down and stopping our metabolism. Okay, more cardio, less food equals higher cortisol, more stress. Let me ask you something real quick. Anybody that's on right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say your daily level of stress lies right now? Stress, meaning from life, whatever you got going on. We all have things going on in life, and stress is going to change daily. Yeah, 20, Reagan. I totally, yes, ma'am. You're in a season of life with some major stress. So yeah, 1 to 10, 10 being super high stress, like I'm gonna wave a white flag here soon if something doesn't change, or 1 meaning I don't have any stress, I'm good, I'm peaceful, calm, all the beautiful things. Let's see, we got 4s in there. I love it. We got some 7s, 20. Yeah, high, working through it. It was 20 until last week, 78. Yeah. Yes. Awesome. I love seeing it. I love rating because it just a level of awareness. So also understand that like I wish there was a light switch that I could invent where you could just switch off your stress. Unfortunately, that's not reality. And unfortunately, we can't control a lot of the things that are stressing our mind out, our body out, our finances out, our family out, all the things, right? But we can control how we treat our body so that we can support it, right? Because when there's more stress, from life. But in this example, I just wanted to share with you because some of us as women go to the gym, or maybe we're just working out at home and we're good at doing cardio. We're comfortable doing cardio, but we're also under eating, and we're doing a lot of cardio thinking more is better, and then we under eat because we were taught even by doctors to under eat. And this is a recipe for, let me just pack on some fat because I don't know when this girl is going to give me enough fuel to get rid of this fat. And she's working and getting a lot of steps in, and she's doing all these things. But the thing is that fat loss shuts down. And so we eventually go to this direction, right? But so does inflammation. Inflammation goes up, and listen, I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to sit here and claim to be, and I have no proof to sit here and show you on the screen today. but also years of this mistreatment to our bodies is also what truly leads to a lot of underlying health issues like autoimmunes and different issues. So some of y'all, I know specifically, some of y'all that are on here have different autoimmunes and things that you deal with on a daily basis. And a lot of lifestyle factors can trigger some of those. Can't say cause per se and have any proof to show you, but it can massive triggers to flare those suckers up. And one thing I didn't have on that list is sleep. You know, sleep it stresses our body out when we don't sleep. Some of y'all hormones are going out of all over the place, and our sleep is something you can't control. Some of us are just up scrolling too late on social media and need to put our phone up and go to bed, because it is truly stress. It also comes from lack of sleep. Okay. So, again, just kind of reiterating on this slide here is what you were told by someone you trust. Just move more, eat less, push harder. But what your body is hearing is we're not safe. I'm going to store all this fat. Because I don't know when this girl's going to give me enough and let me rest and get good sleep so that I can actually release the fat and hold on to the muscle and burn some fat. Okay. So think about that. I know that sounds probably cheesy, but think of the doctor over here telling you to move more, eat less. And as the little devil, right? And then you've got the little angel maybe on the other side, your body screaming at you like, okay, girl, you're not making me safe. You don't make me feel safe. I'm just going to store this fat that you don't want, right? So I know that again, that sounds cheesy, but I think something as silly as that might help you remember, okay, the next time that I want to just go push harder and just starve myself because maybe I had a bad day, that I'm going to remember Angela saying, okay, she's the little thing on her shoulder saying, no, we're not safe. It's your body screaming at you. Okay. And number 4, of course, the big reason is diet culture burnout. Tracking perfectly. You guys, we do food track inside of our coaching communities, but not everybody. Some women, I don't have them tracking. Not yet. Whenever someone comes and starts coaching with me first, we talk through it. We figure it out. Is tracking in your best interest right now, or is it better to just do some habits first and just change some small things? Baby steps is everything. Some of y'all try to go. Some of y'all, have you ever tried macros? Put macros in the comments. I'd love to see who has. Some have and some haven't. Again, macros is something we teach, but in a much more simple way, in a baby stepped process approach, instead of like throwing them all to you right away. Because if you're trying to track too many numbers, it's overwhelming. I don't care who you are. And then you typically quit and you feel overwhelmed, right? Like we have enough things in our life that overwhelm us. We definitely don't need a nutritional plan to feel overwhelming. But if you're trying to track perfectly and be perfect every single day, you're going to burn out. If you're feeling kind of on and off, meaning like one day I'm so excited, the next day, like, screw this, I'm not doing it. The next day I'm on, and the next day, God, I don't want to do it. Or guilt, obsession around food, mental exhaustion. Y'all, some of you are just straight up burnt out. You need rest. You need a switch. You need a new plan. We need to work on our mindset. You need some support. You need some accountability. We need to get unburnt out. You guys, I've been burnt out so many times I could probably write a book. And a lot of it for me has been self-induced. And a lot of us, it can be self-induced. A lot of the women in our community, some things are very self-induced that we work really hard to get away from, like the all or nothing personality, and the perfectionism, and the I don't want to ask for help, I'm going to do it all myself mentality. Y'all, that's natural for us women, I think. But when all of these things are stacked together, under eating, hormone shifts, some are overtraining or overdoing cardio, not doing enough strength training, just straight up mental fatigue from life, y'all. Lack of sleep, of course, as you can see on here. These are the common factors that are causing our bodies to feel stuck and broken in our minds. And you can't fix them all at once. Okay. So I'm not sitting here, don't hop off today and be like, okay, those are the 5 things. I'm going to go try to fix all 5 of them at one time. Don't do it. You're going to be overwhelmed again. Yeah. Okay. I see some of y'all saying macros make my head spin. They're overwhelming. Yeah. I hear that a lot. And Karen, you're not the only one that doesn't like tracking. I totally get it. But it can be overwhelming. And again, that's not where I always start everybody, because it can be overwhelming. Or Audrey, so glad to have you back, girlfriend. But all of these factors are one of the biggest causes why your metabolism is slowed down. It's not broken. It just needs reset. It needs healed. Because right now it's just going to hold on to the weight. And you're going to feel like you're working, you're the hamster in the little wheel that just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and doesn't it doesn't get anywhere, right? Your metabolism didn't necessarily stop working. It just learned how to survive restriction. Most of you ladies don't need more willpower. Some of y'all are some of the hardest working people I've ever met. Some of y'all have so many things that y'all do in your daily life. Y'all work your tail off. You have, some of y'all that are on here, and of course, y'all know your lives more than others, right? More than anyone else. But I know some women that literally have, I mean, they're doing everything. They're homeschooling 4 or 5 kids. They're going to the gym. They're doing all the things. They're working a business. They're supporting their husband's business. They're just so many things. It's not that you necessarily need willpower and discipline because you're a hard freaking working woman and you need to give yourself credit for that. Got to give yourself credit for that. You just need a new strategy when it comes to your health. We need to properly fuel your body, less stress, more rest, and truly a system that works. And there's a lot of systems out there. There's a lot of coaches. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of things. But here's what you don't need. Okay, so some of you may have started the new year off in some of these things. So if any of the stuff that I've already talked about is your biggest problem, you don't need another detox or harsh, crazy cleanse that is full of restrictions. You don't need another 1,200 or less calorie plan. I think I got that point across so far already today. You don't need another like reset, meaning like a reset and detox and cleanses. These are all very similar. You don't need a reset, meaning, okay, I'm just going to go on this fast for 21 days or 12 days or 7 days. I don't know. I've heard some crazy things, or you're just going on a liquid diet for 15 days and then I'll start eating again. Like, no, please don't do that to yourself. Number one, that sounds terrible. But it's, again, it's, you're stressing your body out. Yeah. Again, you just don't need another overwhelming approach. It's, what you do need is a metabolism supportive system and a community, y'all. If community is your favorite thing, like you need accountability and community, put community in the comments. Some of you are already in our community. So like if you're comfortable and if you're able to type something out that you love about the community. What's your favorite part? I know some women that are in our membership coaching program like that. Their favorite thing is the community. It's just, it feels good to be around other women who understand you and what you're walking through, and you're not alone. And so that is just some of the things that I want to talk about, because again, we're women. We're not meant to be, individually secluded by ourselves. Yeah. I love it, Stacy. I love the community. It helps seeing people win. Absolutely. So, okay, before we go into this next part, y'all, I want y'all to hear from two of our ladies. Let me see. Can y'all make sure y'all can hear that?
Thank Angela for asking me to share a little bit
Well, you gotta
about
hear from
why I am here. I have been dieting for 50 years. I know it's hard to believe that 50 years of dieting sounds kind of scary. It did start very young. We didn't know back then all the things that we know now. I lost 85 pounds 26 years ago after my third child was born, and I was struggling with. I kept most of it off, but I literally kept going back and forth with like 20, 30 pounds. So I met Angela through a side business, and I had already been familiar with tracking macros, but the missing piece was really like the mindset part of it, and also healing my metabolism. So I reached out to Angela, and she put me on a program and did all of the things. The scale wasn't moving, so we decided we were going to. She decided, actually, asked me if I would think about increasing my calories and trying to heal my metabolism that way. It was scary, but I did it, and the magic sauce was that. And I trusted her. And so if you're on the fence, jump in and do it. You are worthy. Trust the process. I do not regret reaching out and doing one-on-one coaching and going through the process of healing my metabolism with Angela. She's very knowledgeable. I have lost 22 pounds since October of 2024. And right now I'm in a diet break. I'm going to be reversing again and hopefully getting to my goal so that ultimately I can keep this weight off because I've tried everything. Macros are freedom. So reach out and trust the process and have a conversation. It is worth it. You are worth it. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Hello. Hello. My name is Dee, and I've been coaching with Angela for about a year. Prior to that, I was very much an all or nothing person, and I didn't have good mindset. I would self-sabotage myself all the time. Since I've joined Angela's coaching, I will say my mindset is totally different. It's not all or nothing. There are no foods that you can't have. It's just learning to work them in. She keeps it easy and consistent, step by step. And there are so many people to help encourage you and cheer you on. My favorite and best part of the whole thing is the community and the support. So many times we women, we try and do things alone and on our own, and we don't have to. So Angela and the community are always there to pat you on the back, cheer you on. It's a great, you can be open and honest. There's no negativity, all support. So if you're thinking about it, give it a try. It is so worth it.
I love it. Now let me see if I can navigate back out of here. Anybody relate to
Luna.com, the opposite of
Oh my
anywhere
gosh, hold
platform.
on. Sorry,
Tried-
guys.
Tried other work management platforms.
Oh
not
my
maybe.
gosh, get out of here. Anybody relate to either one of them? Who's an all or nothing personality? Put all or nothing in the chat. I know that so many of the women in our community that we're trying so hard to freaking break that mentality. It holds you back so much. I'm an all or nothing personality person as well too. And I've really gotten away from that. And it's okay to take baby steps. So and before I move on to that next screen, I definitely want to just reiterate that something Suzanne said. Suzanne's been with me for a couple years now, right at 2 years, and she literally, y'all, dieted. She started dieting at the age of 10, if you didn't hear that part of her. And some of y'all may be able to relate to that. She was introduced to dieting as a small kid, as a child. And something that always motivates me is I have an 11-year-old daughter, and I never want her to see me dieting, restricting, or missing out on pizza nights or doing all the things that we do as a family because mommy's on a diet or trying to go a certain way. But some of us, that's how we were raised. Our older generations maybe didn't know any better, right? But we definitely didn't necessarily. We can change the outcome for our kids, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm stumbling on my words, but and Suzanne is definitely someone who used to eat under 25 grams of carbs, y'all. Right now, her macros, she's at 200 grams of carbs and almost 2,000 calories because she mentioned diet breaks. Because whenever you are working with me, I get you into a fat loss phase first, where we work on start getting results, but eventually your metabolism adapts to that and it's time to change. And so dieting break is increasing calories for a while and then we go back down, right? And so it can be a lot trying to figure it all out on your own. And so anyway, without going into too much there. So the old ways, here's the big picture here. I love seeing y'all's comments. I was getting sidetracked trying to read some of them. All or nothing personality. That's some of y'all. Yep, totally get it. Getting better at it, but I don't know. I've been working towards it. Perfect. No worries, Reagan. Thank you so much. At first I didn't know if y'all could hear. Yeah, Sarita, see, you can totally relate to that. And so if we were started that as 10, like goodness gracious, of course, she's 60 now and is in the best shape of her life and looks phenomenal. But again, just to reiterate, the old way is what's keeping us, so many of you, stuck and keeping you from working so hard and getting nowhere, right? Because we've been taught to eat less to lose weight. The carbs are the devil, and the carbs are not the devil. Y'all, how many of y'all fear carbs? Just put carbs in the chat. Carbs are not the devil, y'all. Carbs are actually, we need carbs to be able to build muscle, which is our metabolism's best friend. Carbs aren't the problem. We can't cut them completely out. I love carbs and we should eat carbs, right? So we don't want to overdo carbs, but that's where the balance of macros comes in. More cardio does not mean fat loss. It is important. Some of y'all that are coaching with me or some y'all might after this choose to jump into our program or any of the things. I do highly encourage walking on a daily basis. It's great for a lot of different reasons, but you don't need long duration cardio. Um, Tracking is not meant to lead to obsession or overwhelm, and that's why we've created a crazy simple system that I teach women to do. So it's a little bit more, you get more freedom. She said, I think it was Amy who said, yeah, I'm not going to ask you guys to cut out the pizza nights with your family. We're going to teach you how to figure out how to fit that in, because food freedom with macros truly allows those types of things. But if it was easy, it would have worked already, right? These are all the dieting traps that many of us get stuck in. So the problem with the old way is when we're eating too little. Okay, this is kind of a recap for y'all from the things we've already said. Eating too little is going to slow down your fat loss. If we want to lose the weight, but this time we want to keep it off, keep it off in the comments. We don't want it to come back. Then we've got to work on losing fat, not just losing pounds. Anybody can lose pounds by cutting some things out, but there's a reason why they bounce back and come right back on. You're not losing fat, you're losing muscle and water weight, right? We want to keep it off. Too much cardio, overdoing that side of things raises our stress hormones, burns muscle. Under eating burns muscle. It wastes away our muscle. Cutting carbs drains your energy. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have carbs. I'm brain dead. Anybody that trains with me, if I'm supposed to be the one, if I'm in charge of counting, y'all want me to have carbs. Otherwise, you're going to be doing 20 reps when I said you're only supposed to do 12. Just heads up on that, Aaron. But I won't do away with carbs. I've been there, done that. I'm not going to do it ever again. Perfection thinking leads to burnout. So some of y'all need to let go of perfection. It is not an all or nothing. It's not I'm going to do a full hour in the gym or I'm not going to go at all. No, start with freaking 10 minutes. Start with 10 minutes. That's good enough. Start with just starting to track your food. Start with small things. Intensity works short time, not long term. Your body's going to adapt and then it's going to stall. Okay. Everybody's does at some point. The new way that actually works, this is what we teach. This is what I'm going to kind of cover very briefly. It's a lot of information to throw at you in one day. So there's no way you're going to be able to tackle all of these all in one day, but you can at least have an idea and some clarity on where to start. What your metabolism will actually respond to, how do you heal it? How do you reset it? How do you reboost it so that you can actually start seeing results again and feel better in your own skin and have more energy and more patience with your family because you're fueling yourself? Protein and strength training are your best friends. And those are the two things I typically start with. It depends on the person. I don't even start with strength training with everybody. It just depends on where you were before that. But these two things are some of the most crucial parts for your metabolism to heal and reset, reignite. Enough food gives your body permission to let go of the fat. And I want to say that again so that sets in. When you give your body enough food, that is your permission slip for your body to let the fat go. Okay. And you don't give that permission slip if you're under eating still. Consistency over perfection. This is something we talk about inside of my community. Every single Monday, I do a mindset training. You can watch it on replay. You can watch it live, obviously, whichever. But consistency and perfection are two things I talk about a lot. Let go of perfection. It doesn't work, does not serve you. Awareness over obsession. We just need to be aware of where we're at so then we can make small changes. And a simple system that beats extreme plans. This is what we do inside of Freedom Macro method, or if you're training with me in person in any form or fashion, this is exactly what I'll do in person or one-on-one or even in our community. I created all this for you. The metabolism reset framework is something I'm gonna go over it briefly. And if you guys have questions as I'm talking, you're totally welcome to drop them in the chat, by the way. I'll answer them at the end if I have time. And if anybody wants to stick around and stay on a little longer, then I can definitely answer questions. But how in the world do we wake your metabolism back up? Again, stop under eating. Stop overwhelming, trying to do everything. If you've been eating less, doing more cardio, still feeling tired and exhausted, we just need to refire you back up. We need to readapt your body and get away from survival mode. Survival mode. To me, that if anybody right now is listening, you're like, okay, there is hope. There is hope. I thought at 40, 50, 60, whatever age we are, like, I thought I was just stuck and doomed and broken. And now I have hope. I hope if you haven't gotten anything else from it, you'll hopefully have some hope now that there is a way to change. Put hope in the comments if you do, in the chat. You can, I promise. And I know you're probably still a little like gray area in the brain. I still don't really understand how yet. Don't worry. Again, it's not something you learn in 1 hour of training, I promise. I wish. I'm going to go over these next slides fairly quickly because I've kind of talked about them already, and I know I'm already creeping up on the time. I don't want to. I want to respect y'all's time, but how do you do it, guys? Simple, simplicity. It's not simple. I'm saying you need simple. You need simplicity in your life, and you need a system that you can put on repeat, not another crazy restrictive diet that you're constantly having to learn about and find foods that are on this list of this meal plan or whatever that you get that it's like, I don't even know what that is or that is. I can't pronounce that. Don't know any of those things. Anybody ever been there? You need a simple, repeatable system. That's the exact framework that I know I personally use inside of my coaching programs, or when you work with me, close, of course, as well too. The first step obviously is focus on fuel first. Fuel first. Again, because you can still be chronically under eating and go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week and you're still not going to get the results you want. I would rather work on fueling first and then we ease into workouts, or unless you can do them simultaneously at the same time, of course, which some of you totally can. Awareness before perfection. We already talked about that. Strength training, lift weights. Put lift weights in the chat. So I know they are listening to me still and hadn't tuned me out. Lift the weights, ladies. Our weights are our best friends, and whatever is heavy for you is going to be different for the next person. Okay. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. This is your pace, your race, your journey. What's heavy for me might be light as heck for you, or vice versa, right? It's just a matter of getting in there and doing it. Number 4 is nervous system and stress support, y'all. This is crucial. Again, because so many of you are walking around with your nervous system out of whack. I have days where mine are that as well too. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. You got to let go of trying to be perfect. And then you need something that's going to be sustainable. You need something that's going to allow you the pizza nights. You need something that's going to allow you to go have a glass of wine and a date night with your husband. You need something that's going to allow you to have a piece of birthday cake at your kid's birthday because you want to be able to enjoy your sweet baby that you were the one who created that beautiful miracle inside of your body, right? You don't need extremes. You don't need obsession. You don't need burnout. What you do need is patience. Put patience in the chat too, just so I know that you're still with me. And how many of y'all struggle with patience? I know I do. It's not my strong suit. Although I'm much better than I once was. So focusing on fuel first. I love it. I'm seeing a lot of patience popping in the chat here. Yeah. It's not our strong suit, ladies. I think it's more natural for us to be impatient than patient, and more so in today's world of instant gratification. But you got to give your time, because think about it. If you've done any of these things that I'm talking about, again, don't beat yourself up or blame yourself. You got to let go of guilt of what we did in the past. We can't go backwards and change it. What we can do is make a decision today to change something. Get support if you decide to, or work with us or someone else or whatever. Just get some support and some community, right? But focus on fuel first. This is where you start. If right now you're like, okay, this all sounds great, Angel, but I don't know where to start. Fuel first. What does that even mean? We need to focus on just awareness. If anybody's on here, like I'll give you a clue on my very inside. We have a Freedom Macro Society, which is a membership coaching program. I'm going to share it on here in case anybody is interested and needs some support. We'd love to have you. But the step 1 and step 2. Step 1 is changing habits. Step 2 is just track for a week. I'm just going to put that out there, because if you don't know where you're at, you can't set a goal to be realistic on where you go next. And so focus on fuel first. If you get off this call today and just continue to do this journey on your own, know this: track for a week and tell me where you're at. It's awareness. You got to know where you're at, because then you can focus on getting more protein. The majority of us don't eat enough protein. Protein is your protector of your muscle. Muscle is your metabolism's best friend. If you're not getting enough protein, you're not protecting your muscle. And then your muscle impacts your metabolism. Carbs support our hormones and our energy. Carbs are not the devil. I'm going to say that again. I know I already said that once. You got to have some carbs in your life. Have some carbs in your life. Everybody's number is going to be different. I'm not going to throw out numbers or formulas or anything that would literally, that you'll leave here overwhelmed. Just know that you've got to have carbs. Don't fear them. Don't cut them all out because you're trying to lose weight. Add them in and you might actually feel better. You'll have more energy. You'll have more brain fuel. You'll feel stronger in your workouts. Healthy fats are also very important for our hormones and for our I always say that. I can't pronounce that even word very well. Sadie. I can't even say it. My struggle is energy working out used to feed my energy and wanted more. Now I feel tired and thank God I'm done. Karen, you're definitely not alone. Thank you for sharing that. Carbs could be your best friend. Carbs before your workout. Different time, different video, things that we do. But back to healthy fats. Healthy fats are going to keep you fuller longer. Fuller longer. They support our hormones. They support our digestive system. And so chronic undereating shuts your metabolism off. If you don't think of anything else, this is a light switch. Undereating shuts it off. There you go. Thank you, Audrey. Like I can't even pronounce a word today. Oh, I love you, girl. Proper fueling is going to switch it on. Eat enough, fuel on, undereat, your switch is off. I'm glad y'all can laugh with me. Awareness and strength. Okay, fueling first was the first one. Awareness and strength with the second one. Again, just going over it very quickly. Awareness before perfection. You got to simply track so you know your foundation. Awareness before perfection. Hunger hormones. Hunger hormones. Some of y'all might be walking around and you're like, I know you keep saying to eat more, Angela. I'm not freaking hungry. Anybody not hungry, put not hungry in the chat. Not hungry, know that you're not alone. We have to retrain your hunger hormones to trigger you to be hungry. And whenever you start getting hungrier because you're doing the things I'm teaching you and strength training, then you're going to feel hungry. You're going to wake up hungry. You should be hungry as it gets close to time for another meal. You should be hungry. Don't be scared of being hungry. That's a sign your metabolism waking back up and working for you in the way that you want it to. I love that, Stacy. Perfect. Awareness helps us adjust and just get better, you guys. You cannot fix something and fix the amount of protein if you have no idea how much you're eating. Same thing with water, right? Strength over cardio, already talked about that, but we got to build muscle. You build muscle with your fuel, right? You build muscle with protein and carbs. That's the fuel side of it, but you can't build muscle without doing some strength training too. Strength training, you can start off with push-ups and squats. That's strength training. Not everybody has to go to the gym and do crazy, do structured full-blown workouts to start with. What we protect what matters most. So stress and sustainability are huge. Again, burnout kills your results. Okay. And this is something, sometimes we walk through seasons, we can't help the burnout. Chronic stress raises the cortisol. We already talked about that. Cortisol blocks fat loss. I'm sure some of y'all have heard in the past, like stress and cortisol packs on belly fat. Has anybody ever heard that? Put belly fat in the comments, because there's a lot of truth to it, y'all. There's a lot of truth to it. Hormones impact our belly fat, but so does stress. And stress also comes from undereating, you guys. Some of us have high cortisol levels because we are chronically undereating, among many other things. Pushing harder backfires. Push intentionally instead, right? Different training, I could do a whole training on that one. But we talked about intentionality in our community this week. But here's what I do want you to understand. We're human, ladies. Everybody's in here. Maybe not everybody's a mom. I don't know everybody's story. I don't ever want to assume everybody's a mom. Our community is not all moms, majority moms, right? But you may be mom, you may be grandma, you may be aunt, you may be caregiver for your parents, you may be all kinds of walks of life, right? You have to understand, you have to have an approach that meets you at your real life as well too. You can't be expected to flip your world upside down to try to get healthy. Otherwise, it's not going to stick. It needs to be sustainable. What does that mean? This needs to fit slightly in. This needs to just mesh in with your current life. Okay. And that's why baby steps are important. That's why you can't just do all right away or nothing. We have busy schedules. Put busy in the chat if you're busy. I don't know a single person in today's world that is not busy. It's just a priority issue for some people, right? Which is another training, another day. We have families that we have to take care of. We have hormonal shifts. We have energy changes. We have spouses. We have parents. We have all the things in our life. If the approach doesn't fit into your current life, it will not last. That's when I say, so don't even bother trying. If it's crazy, hardcore restrictive, then it's not for you. And I say that with all confidence because I've seen so many women trying to do too much too fast and they don't last longer than a week. I've had many women come to me and, Angela, give it all to me, girl. Give it all to me. I want to go to the gym 5 days a week. I want to track all my macros. I want to do all these things. And I say, no, I don't even care if you have all the experience in the world with tracking macros. That is not where we're starting. You hired me as your coach. I'm going to walk you through what I know is going to work because I want you to still be on this journey 2 weeks later instead of burning out, right? Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you it's okay to slow down. It's okay to do a little bit less. Okay. Some of y'all just need that permission. I know for the longest time I needed permission, because I want to share something kind of personal with you real quick before we kind of get into the last part of this. I was there too. Some of y'all right now are in the place that I was a couple years ago. And I'm definitely, I'm a work in progress. Y'all, we are always going to be a work in progress. We are imperfectly perfect the way God made us right here on this earth and on this planet. And we're always a work in progress. And when we realize that this health journey is not just a 6-week journey for me to drop 10 pounds, and then I'm just going to go back to my old ways. No, this has to be a lifestyle change for you for it to truly get the results, keep the results. And then when you get the results, let me tell you, you don't just stop going to the gym and stop changing your food and stop focusing on your stress habits and stop. You don't do that. You keep it going. You keep them going, right? Because I will tell you, the biggest turning point for me was 2018, 2019, and then 2020, I launched coaching because my back was against the wall. I had to do something. And I know what my purpose and passion was here because of what happened to me in 2018 and 19. My turning point came from years of neglecting myself, just like some of y'all might be in the season of life right now. I was neglecting myself. I was always tired. I was bitchy, excuse my language. I was always irritable. My poor husband couldn't breathe without me getting annoyed at him. And hormones had a little bit to do with that later on down the road, but it was more of my lifestyle and how I was taking care of me or not taking care of me. I was giving everything to everyone else. I was ignoring my own health. I was working a network marketing business from home. I was working a group fitness business that was here locally in town that I would go get up at 3:45 in the morning and meet 40 to 50 people in a parking lot and take them through a workout. And then I'd come home and I'd go straight into either mom mode or I'd go into hustle mode on the computer. I'd go into taking care of everybody else. I would skip meals. I would skip workouts, even though I wouldn't keep feeding my kids, y'all. Isn't that crazy? But then I stopped ignoring me because I had a moment and I had a day, and I'm going to show y'all a picture that always gets me in my heart and makes me, it just gets me emotional. Obviously, you're going to see why. Everything that I do and everything that I created inside of my coaching and my community and everything that we do stemmed from this picture. Everything that you see me do in the Create the Freedom. Some of y'all have seen this picture before and know this side of my story, but this is my son. He was 18 months old and mommy was neglecting herself for years. I thought I didn't need sleep. I thought I could skip workouts. I thought I don't need meals. Because on the outside, after having kids, I lost the weight a year plus later, but I was what you call skinny fat. This day woke me up. And sometimes you might be on this call today, and I hope this might be a wake-up call for you that it's time to make some changes. For me personally, this was my wake-up call. I wasn't quite 40 yet, but I was creeping up on it. This sweet little boy is going to be 8 in March now. But I had him when I was 37. So I was older. I was an older mom. I didn't start family till a little bit later in life. But I was living on coffee. I was living on fumes. I was starving myself, thinking, oh, this will help me drop my weight. Plus, I'm just too freaking busy, too busy to stop. I was making my 3rd or 4th cup of coffee at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And my sweet little boy climbed and he got it. And he got the cup off of the Keurig and poured it down his chest. As you can see, the bandages around his chest, and he got 2nd-degree burns on his chest. I can still hear him screaming that day. I was home by myself with him, and it was the worst day of my life. But it was also the best day of my life in a weird kind of way because it woke me the hell up. And it helped me realize, like, okay, mom has got to do something different. Mom's got to do something better because this worn out, tired, exhausted version of me, it's not just about the weight loss. It's not just about I wanted to look better in my own skin and get all these things off. It's I wanted to show up better for him and my daughter and my husband and all the things that I do now. So some of y'all just need to sit and think of everybody else in your life. If you're struggling to track, if you're struggling to change your lifestyle, if you're struggling to get to the gym, you're struggling to do any of these things, you may not have, I hope and pray that you don't have such a moment like this in your life that kind of wakes us up. But sadly, that was the day that I needed me to wake for God to say, boom, slap me across the face and say, wake up, stop ignoring you because that's not what I put you on this earth to do. And so this is what helped me create everything that you guys see us do now. So stop doing it, I had to stop doing it alone too. I invested in a business coach and I invested in a health coach at that time and got help. And so the reason why I wanted to share that with you is because I don't just teach because I learned all this stuff out of books. I teach because I was there and I've been there. And so what we do and what we teach and all these things that I'm sharing with you guys today, it works. I'm just not another coach over here trying to fill you full of a bunch of BS just to take up your time today. But this works when you stop also doing it alone. When women follow the framework that we teach, you have clear guidance, you have accountability, you have support, you have a pace that fits in your real life. And I think that's huge. But on the flip side, when you start doing all these things that we're talking about today, your metabolism responds, you start having more energy, your food feels simple again. You guys, again, we need simple in our life. Put simple in the chat. And the scale finally freaking moves as long as you give it enough time and you trust the process. It might take 3 weeks for your scale to move. It might take 5 weeks. It might take 2 months. It might take longer than that. Everybody's scale time and when it finally moves is different. Some might start moving right away, and it just depends on everybody's perfect. But this is exactly what we teach inside of. So Freedom Macro Society is my coaching community, and I'm going to share a little bit about it real quick in just a second. And I'm almost done, y'all. So stick with me here. I know I'm a little over the hour, like I said. Freedom Macro Society. This is why we do everything that we do inside of there. There's a membership coaching option, which is actually reopened now. There's group coaching. I do one-on-one. You heard some of the ladies talk about that. I obviously in person for some of y'all that are here locally that work out at the gym, try to, I obviously work with you in person as well. So now that you've got an idea of what works, here's my question. Will you leave today continuing to figure it out on your own? Or will you maybe get some support? How many, let me see what I'm trying to ask you. How many of you feel like you're tired of doing it alone? Just put the word tired in the comments. I know there's plenty of times in my journey, I'm so sick and tired of doing it alone. I don't care what it costs. That's what happened in 2020 when I launched this coaching business because I was so tired of trying to figure it out on my own because it was not freaking working. And I was broke as a joke, paying mortgage on a credit card 3 months in a row at that phase right before I maxed out my last credit card on a business coach. And also when I made my first little bit of money online, I got a health coach too. And so I will tell you, I hope you got some good information for today. And as we're wrapping it up, and there's one more video that I want to show y'all before we go, like maybe five or 10 minutes at most, you guys. But I will tell you, I have a lot of women that will come into our community. We'll give them free information, free this, free that. And how many have ever signed up for something for free and never did anything with it? Put me in the comments. I know I have. Put me in the comments if you've ever signed up for something and did nothing with it. I know I'm not the only one. There we go. I see some me's coming in. Yeah, I have done that so many times, y'all. I can't even count probably how many. So I will tell you, information isn't the problem. Some of y'all already know what healthy food is, that protein matters. Some of you already know this. Some of y'all came into this knowing this already. Some of the things that I've shared with you today are like, these aren't new things to you. These are things that we know that works. You just have to stick to it. Some of you already know that strength training helps, that consistency matters. But there's a difference between knowing it and actually doing it, right? Is the same thing. Information doesn't always stick, y'all. We hear because some of y'all might get off this call. And if you're like, some of y'all might get off this call and then go find something, or you're scrolling on social media and you see something else, and all of a sudden everything I said just went poof, went out the window. This is why in today's world, information doesn't stick. You start motivated, life gets busy, stress spikes, old habits start to creep back in, and all of a sudden your tracking stops. You stop tracking your food. You stop going to the gym. You skip one day that turns into 3, 4, 5, and the next thing a month has gone by, you haven't done anything. And then you go back into that. I'm going to start every single Monday again. So again, it's not for that, my personal opinion, it's not necessarily a discipline issue. It's more of a support gap. You don't have anybody nudging you. What to me, from my personal experience as a coach and a trainer for so many years, it's the thing that actually usually derails a lot of women, it's not the information, it's not the process necessarily, the macros, the workouts, the strength training, because you can Google that, you can chat GPT a lot of that now in today's world. I teach the women in our community how to use chat GPT to their favor with their macros and food tracking and how to simplify a lot of things. But what actually derails most women is more the accountability side. You don't have anybody checking in on you saying, hey girl, what are you doing? Or are you doing this? Right? Information doesn't stick. We scroll. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Reagan. Too many conflicting voices. There's too many people telling you to do two different things, three different things, five different things. Second guessing every decision. Y'all, we as women naturally second guess decisions. How many are skeptical? I am. I will get off of something and all of a sudden I'll start talking myself out of it. So like I recognize for me when I'm invited to do something, if I know and I feel aligned with it, I better sign up right then, because if I don't, I'll talk myself out of it. I'll find some reason not to spend money on myself. And it's just who I am. But doing it alone, feeling like you're behind, information won't change your life, you guys. Inflammation and support will. So before I wrap up, one more thing I want you guys to hear. Audrey, it's your turn, sweet friend. We've got two other ladies. I want you guys to hear their stories. Why can't you hear it? Hold on. There it is.
Hi, I'm Fauna. I am almost 57 years old. About 5 years ago, I was in what my doctor would call the perfect storm. I was perimenopausal. I had hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, and high blood pressure. I knew I needed to do something. I was introduced to the community and took a chance, invested in myself, and after a very short time, I was exercising. I was feeling good about myself. My favorite part of the community is that it's your favorite. You're never given anything that's too advanced for your abilities. I now am at the goal of my set. I'm happy with my results. I feel good with myself. I love the body I live in. And if I could give you any advice, it would be to invest in yourself, because it was really for the rest of your life. Don't focus on what's wrong with your body. Focus on the things that are right. Thank you.
Hi, ladies. My name is Audrey Wooten. I am 58 years old. I am a wife, a mom, and a nana. I enjoy all of those roles, believe me. When Coach Angela asked me to do a short video about my journey with her, the Fit Mama community, and coaching, I was absolutely ecstatic to do so. So, with that being said, before my journey started, a lot of things had happened to me mentally, physically, and emotionally before I got into the Fit Mama community. Just a lot of surgeries, procedures, health issues, all the things that life can just throw at you when you don't expect it to. And then I got into the Fit Mama community around 2021, I believe, is when I got in there. And it was the group on Facebook. And if you're not in there, you need to be. And Coach Angela can give you that. But understand that this was a time that I needed to see that I wasn't the only one dealing with different struggles and mindsets and all kinds of things. But then in January of 2025, I started coaching with Coach Angela and Coach Reagan, and it has been the best year of my entire life. And I do not say that lightly. Knowing that I have changed with my mindset, not getting angry or frustrated when I see a scale number or when I see myself, when I take my own pictures, it doesn't bother me anymore. And ladies, that is so huge, not just for me, but for any of you who probably deal with that same situation. The other thing is that you're going to learn that she talks about pivoting a lot, as well as mindset. But sometimes we all have to pivot with situations, and that's okay. We are going to live our lives, and we don't have to be restricted with what we eat, what we do, how we feel, nothing. So I'm here to tell you that If you want to do what's best, choose yourself because you are important, you are worthy, and you can do big things when you do. Trust Coach Angela, trust Coach Reagan, and trust me when I tell you that I've trusted the process and it has not been easy, but you know what? It's been worth it. I hope you all have a great day.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing that for us, Audrey. You guys, Audrey's on today. She's our warrior. Yeah, we call her a Fit Mama warrior for so many different reasons. All right. So you guys, let me pull this back up. I can't talk and do technology. Though first, I'll mess something up. So last thing here, and I'll let you guys go, and I will be sending out this replay as well as all the notes that you see here on the screen, so you can have it recap. I know it's a lot of information to soak in all at once. The last thing I always encourage as I wrap this up today is just be honest with yourself today. Where are you at? What do you need to start? What do you need to work on first? What do you need to give yourself permission to do? Maybe that's to join with us. Maybe it's to join something else that you've been looking at. Maybe it's just to simply do a little bit less and honor yourself during the season that you're in. But after this, who helps you apply that? Who answers your questions? Who keeps you from quitting in 2 to 3 weeks? That's a huge, huge thing, y'all. That's a huge thing to kind of wrap your head around before you leave here, because hopefully when you get off here, you're going to be motivated like crazy. But will you be tomorrow morning when you wake up, or do you have somebody nudging you who reminds you why you started? I shared my story about my son getting burned because that was my why for everything I do for y'all, and that I woke up and started taking care of me first. I come first. And I don't feel guilty, or so I don't feel like I'm being selfish in any form or fashion, because I know I'm better for them, right? But this is where so many women will fall off, and where everything truly can change. And it's also why in October I created this very affordable Freedom Macro Society. So you don't have to do it alone, and if finances are tight, or you just need a little nudge, not like a full-blown one-on-one coaching, then it's definitely something that we have found so many women have some amazing support system. And I laid it all out for you, so you focus on one step at a time. I already have it all laid out for you so you can follow it. So I want you to visualize yourself. Y'all, February is almost here. Today is the 29th, right? 29th. I can't believe that we're already looking on to February as I look out my windows in the snow. And it's crazy. February is almost here, but I want you to visualize yourself you're going to go into February with a plan. You've got some coaching, you've got some accountability, you've got some confidence. Instead of chaos, let go of the chaos. Instead of guilt, instead of like, oh my gosh, I already messed up. And so let go of that energy. Don't go into February with that kind of energy. So we do want to invite you. This last thing that I'm going to do today is invite you. If you're not already coaching with us, obviously, if you are coaching with me or working with me in person, then you are already in this Freedom Macro Society community. But if you're not, this is our invitation for you. If right now you're listening and you heard everything that I said today, and you're already thinking like, this finally makes sense. I feel like I'm being heard. I feel like I'm being seen. I feel like I'm not freaking alone anymore. I also feel like I'm not broken, and there's hope. I just need some clarity on what to do next. And you're so sick and tired of restarting, you don't want to start over anymore. So your next step, we do want to invite you to join our Freedom Macro Society community. And so inside of that, you get all this stuff. You get my 8-step Freedom Macro Blueprint, which is I've got it laid out for one step at a time, that you follow one step, you implement before you go on to the next step. I've got it all beautifully laid out, but the better part is you have me guiding you and holding your hand inside the community to do it with you. But you get the framework, everything that we talked about today, but on a lot more clear steps. We talk all the time about hormone supportive nutrition guidance, because that's huge. It's important. We're not just changing our nutrition habits so that we can lose some weight. We're changing it so we can support our hormones, so we can support our bodies, so we can refire and reset our metabolism after we heal it. Food tracking made simple. I'm a big advocate for food tracking during a season. You don't have to do it forever. Actually, I like to get you to the point where you don't do it anymore, because you've gotten so good at it, right? Strength and metabolism workouts, weekly coaching by me personally, a supportive community by some of these women that you saw talking today. All of them are currently in there, among many others. Mindset support for the long haul. The guys, this is not a diet. It's a system that I've perfected over the last 6 years of coaching women and seeing what works and what doesn't work, and taking the science behind things and putting it into real life terms so it actually makes sense. I do have I teach you Chat GPT. I teach you all these things, but a little bit at a time. And the question I always get is how much? Don't worry, it's not thousands of dollars, y'all. The community and the membership is only $47 a month. And so that's where I want to invite you guys. And Reagan, if you can drop the link in here if you haven't yet. So I can't see the chat. Where'd the chat go? It disappeared. There it is. Oh, you already did. You're on top of it. I will send it to you as well too. If you have questions, you just want to talk to me, you can definitely have a private conversation with me if you want to. Reagan is a big part of our community, has been with me for years, with us for years, and is it just a beautiful support system. She dropped the link in there if you feel aligned. You guys, there's no pressure. We do have our free Facebook group as well too. You can stay aligned in there if that's a better fit for you right now. But for $47 a month, you can cancel at any time. There is no contracts. That's less than what we would spend feeding our family in a drive-through nowadays. Just 1 month in there can truly change your approach and how you look at things. Obviously, the longer you're in, the better. But you get all the things, and you get it all laid out by me personally. So compare diet programs that you've quit before, supplements that you've taken and maybe didn't help you, or maybe you're taking supplements right now. Again, some of the supplements we take, and some of us take it, not everybody takes the same thing, however, are beautiful and they're helping you and they're doing so many things, but it's the secret sauce to supplements, or even the GLP-1s that I help women, or peptides, men too, obviously, but help them on, like, those will only do so much if you don't do this other piece of work with it. Starting over every January is not a thing anymore once you get this routine down. For coaching, structure, accountability, confidence, sustainability, I don't like to look at you're investing in another program. You're investing in your last time to restart. So if you are sick and tired of where you're at right now and you really want to have some change, but yet have us support you, like, again, zero pressure, zero risk. Try it for a month. And all you have to do is message me or email me a day or two before your draft is supposed to go through if you don't want to do it anymore. You go at your own pace. And so here's the last slide of this whole entire thing, and I'll promise I'll let y'all go. Here's your moment that we encourage you. You don't need more discipline. Remember that. Some of y'all might need more discipline in certain areas, but I'm talking about, like, there's way more to it than, oh, you just need to get up and do it when you just don't feel like it. Like, there's so much more to it than that. You don't need more rules, more guilt, more someone yelling at you, making you feel shame because you didn't do the XYZ. You need support. You need simplicity. You need a system that works. And again, that's what we've created inside of Freedom Macro Society. So if you feel aligned, we'd love to have you get immediate access to all the things for only $47 a month. So the link is in the chat. You can message me after this if you would like to have a conversation about it. You can also message Reagan as a plethora of information as well too. But let's make a change. Put "it's time to change" in the chat if you're like, yep, I just, regardless whether you take that next step or not, like, just, it's time to change. So it's time to change your routine. It is time. So I hope you got some value from this today.